Well, good day, everyone. We'll just stand by. We're going to hold off on getting started for about a minute, just to allow people time to enter the room. So stand by and we'll kick things off shortly. It's funny how long a minute seems when you're sitting here in silence. All right, well, thank you for joining. I think we'll get started here. Really excited about today's session, Seamless HR and Payroll, Acumatica's enhanced relationship with ADP. We're super excited about this partnership and collaboration with ADP and look forward to sharing details about that today in our session. So just some housekeeping items. We are going to be recording this session and it will be circulated to all attendees following the presentation. There is a chat feature on the right-hand side of your screen. So if you have any questions during the session, please feel free to put them in the chat. We'll save them all up and we'll address them at the end of the session. As well, obviously, if you have any additional questions following the presentation today, or if you're interested in a deeper dive on ADP, please reach out to your CSM, either Philippe or Andy, and they will be happy to coordinate with a follow-up session with ADP. So with that, let's kick things off. I suspect most on this call know me, but hopefully a little bit about me. I'm founder and president here at The Answer Company. We've been, doing ERP now for 30 odd years. I think many of you know that last year we divested our Sage business so we could be wholly focused on Acumatica, and we're super excited about the path that presents. And in along those lines, partnerships like the one that we're going to be talking about with ADP are really super important for us to be offering our customers kind of a fully comprehensive suite of solutions. And HR, payroll, HCM is clearly an important part of running your business. So with that, Jeff, I'd like to hand things over to you, and it's all yours.
Well, I'm going to share my screen, Sean. Thank you so much for the introduction, and we will get started here in 1 second. Okay. Well, good day, everyone. And, thank you for taking some time to get better acquainted with Acumatica's relationship with ADP and the unique benefits that it offers through your relationship with The Answer Company. So I'm Jeff Griffin. With me today is Ashley Ruggieri, Denise Alito. I think between the three of us, there's some version of 30 years of HR payroll experience and consulting experience. So excited to impart some of that knowledge on you all today. So in terms of an agenda, again, Sean, thank you so much for those opening remarks. We do want to orient you to ADP. We want to orient you to the technology through a demonstration, and then we can chat about how you can learn more if you are interested. So, I guess to level set here a little bit, no one company's business objectives are the same. Maybe you're growing, maybe you're diversifying, maybe you're right sizing, maybe you're planning an acquisition, maybe you're maybe even spinning off, right, a portion of your business. But there are challenges that all businesses need to navigate. Things like the economy and its impact on costs, things like multiple systems they have to navigate to get the information you need to make good decisions. Things like creating, the right employee experience, navigating administrative tasks that take you away from those strategic activities, attracting and retaining the best talent, and then keeping that talent once you do find a way to to take them from a tight labor pool. So, the goal of today is to show you how over the next 30 minutes or so, ADP, through its partnership with Acumatica and the Answer Company, can deliver solutions to address these challenges. So first, I just want to share a few words on ADP. We've been in business, for those that don't know, we've been in business for over 75 years. Since day one, our goal was to simplify the lives of our clients and provide them with peace of mind after they transfer their payroll complexities to us. Today, ADP is the most widely used processor of payroll in the world. In Canada, we remit over $140 billion in tax payments annually. And when it comes to investing in our solution, no one in the industry invests more in product and the customer experience than us. When you think of ADP, I want you to think about our innovation, how we keep you in compliance, and the level of security we apply to keep you covered every single day. So the ADP technology that's at the core of our partnership with Acumatica, it's called Workforce Now. Designed to meet the needs of mid-sized businesses, but scalable enough to meet the needs of a 5,000 employee company. So based on G2 market research, Workforce Now leads the way in both market presence, probably not surprised based on what I just shared, and customer satisfaction. This is due in large part to really two reasons. Its ability to handle almost any payroll use case and its design. Workforce Now was built with all key stakeholders in mind. Executives, practitioners, managers, and of course, you probably guessed it, employees, as they've already mentioned a couple of times here. So Workforce Now, it's an all-in-one solution. It is designed to cure what ails most HR and payroll back offices, which is the use of multiple systems and processes that lack efficiency, don't connect, and results in little or no visibility into what's truly going on in the business. But, all-in-one solutions are great in reducing administration, but the right all-in-one solution, right HR application doesn't stop there and includes tools and features to address those talent challenges we were talking about, right? Attracting, retaining, developing, getting the most out of your employees. So with Workforce Now, you're going to have tools that you need to meet the expectations of today's kind of unique workforce. You're going to have career centers that promote your culture and potential candidates, a configurable onboarding experience, tailored content for learning, reskilling, and upskilling. And how about employee surveys, right? To make sure you capture that sentiment. I would love to spend more time on talent today, but we don't have enough time to demo it all. So we're going to focus on a couple of other key areas that I think you're all going to appreciate. So we're going to focus on our mobile capabilities, reporting and analytics, and of course, the Acumatica integration. So with regards to mobile, the application is the number one HCM app on the Apple App Store. It's number 7 overall in the business category. It's highly rated. It's 4.7 stars out of 5, and that's across 3.8 million reviews, which is nowhere. Our nearest competitor is nowhere near that many reviews. So it's a highly familiar product, one that gets smarter and smarter too via Gen AI as employees engage with it. So mobile enabled is something that we want to really drive home today. The other piece that we want to drive home is the level of insights that you're going to be able to garner through leveraging the analytics portion of Workforce Now. We talked about controlling costs being super important. And in order to control costs, it comes down to reporting, analytics, and data. And within the demo, you're going to see that you're going to have access to dashboards that organize, your information in a way that you can be notified of issues that you need to address without having to run reports. You configure your notifications and you get notified when you're not trending appropriately. And our analytics users are seeing really great results. I mean, you can see here, right? 50% of users reducing their time to hire by 27 days, 60% decreasing their voluntary turnover costs by 20%. I mean, suffice to say, the investment we're making in reporting and analytics, it's really paying off for our clients. So arguably the star of the show today, is our connectability with third parties. Workforce Now easily connects with third parties. It's designed to do that. It's open architecture. but specifically with Acumatica. And I'm going to hand it over to Denise in a second for a demo. But before I do, I want to hand it over to Ashley Ruggieri. She's been working with Acumatica on this integration since day one. And Ashley, I'd like you to say a few words if you don't mind.
Of course. Can you hear me okay?
We can.
Sound great.
Great. So star of the show beyond mobile and our data insights, right, which Denise is going to show you, is the API connector that we have. And again, Denise will show you this, but what I wanted to touch on is the reason why we decided to have this partnership with Acumatica, certified partnership. So I think that's very important. We found that as the evolution of on-prem or legacy to cloud ERPs was happening, there was a need for clients to have payroll and HCM support. So we created this channel 6 years ago and have become an official partner of Acumatica. With the launch, hard launch in about a year ago. And we have several workflows that we have developed for specifically the Acumatica community and all of your different additions. So again, Denise is going to go over the details, but the workflows encompass a journal transaction as well as people transfer. We have two different time workflows and a project sync workflow. And then in the futures, we also have an expense workflow. So again, this is to fill the gap and the needs of the evolution of, moving into the cloud, as well as the need to have our most important data really in one system, and the nice marriage between your HCM and payroll and your ERP. So I'll pass it over to Denise.
All right. Thank you, Ashley. Yes, as Ashley mentioned, we are going to go ahead and kind of walk through, those main four different components of the integration. Just bear with me 2 seconds here while I go ahead and take that screen over. I'm going to start off here showing you some highlights of our mobile capabilities that Jeff had mentioned, and then we'll lean into the actual Workforce Now environment that's connecting to your Acumatica. So as Jeff mentioned, this is one of the main highlights, especially when it comes to not only your employees. So your employees will have ease of use from hire to retire, all really within the palm of their hand. They can do things like clocking, engagement surveys for you, going in and seeing their pay, learning, entering time. But then the other key piece that Jeff and Ashley pointed out was our analytics. And I'll show you those in a little bit more in depth in a moment. But, managers sometimes in different industries are very on the go. They're moving from location to location, or they just don't have time to get to a desktop computer. These insights that I'm going to show you in more depth can be available to those managers and practitioners and CEOs, all from that mobile device, from either an iPhone like I'm showing now to an iPad to an Android device, giving them that ease of use. Also ties into location. So if they're going from location to location and there's a turnover issue at one of those locations, it's going to pop up with those most recent analytics regarding that turnover and say, hey, you may want to take a look at this when you get to that location. So just some sneak peeks into some other things I'll show you here in a moment. But what does it look like in big version? So as we mentioned, hire to retire. Let's start off with that hire mark. You're going ahead, you're putting your employees into Workforce Now. You're entering in Mr. Frank Smith here. Frank Smith's data, not only at the time of hire, which is what I'm showing you now, but as you move throughout the life cycle of that employee, that data is going to sync with Acumatica for you. No having to dual entry, no worry about, errors in information. It is event-driven, real-time integration. So again, as you enter Frank Smith into the system, you hit save, Frank Smith is going to be in Acumatica. You make a change to Frank's salary, or you update him to a new department. That's going to trigger off an event to go ahead and sync that data. And then throughout the day, it'll also automatically sync just to make sure that everything stays in sync, lack of a better word right now, between the two systems for you. So no matter what one you're in, everything will be there for you. Of course, in addition to that, the other main key is, of course, entering employee time data. You can see here for ease of use, one way employees can clock besides the mobile is right here from their desktop. But what if they need to make a change to the actual individual time card itself? Maybe they mispunched or they needed to add in something additional. You're able to go ahead and get that information. So here I have a time card. Your employee enters in their hours, maybe their project task or cost code, which of course we can also sync those up with Acumatica for you and push that information from Acumatica into Workforce Now. Again, no dual entry necessary. Once that information is in here, now maybe you want to go ahead and you want to push that individual time information over into over into Acumatica. Not a problem. Go ahead, go into the Acumatica integration dashboard. This is where you're going to be able to do just that, send that time data over. Not only that, but you can see in here things that have synced in the past and make sure that the information is staying in sync between the two systems. So it's very easy to go ahead and say, I want to send my time data, what pay frequency, pay group, and even the employees, one or all, can be sent over into Acumatica for you. Once you hit yes, you'll notice that down here, it'll let you know when it's been completed and how many records were sent over. Again, another way to keep that information between the two systems seamlessly in sync without having to dual enter. Now, let's go ahead and see what is it like when we process payroll. Of course, once you process payroll, you want to get that general ledger data over into Acumatica. Not a problem. Again, we go into our reports. During implementation, we're going to help you with developing the mapping that is needed to get your information from Workforce Now into Acumatica. Again, this is something that could be automated, or it's something that you can go ahead and do on a night, after you run payroll, you enter in your file name, grab that mapping that we helped you develop, and say, okay, I want to go ahead and kick that off. You grab your pay and create that file. Once you create that file, it'll let you know it's ready to go. And then from there, you simply say, yes, transmit it, go into Acumatica, and it's going to show you that information has indeed come over and all of the information is laid out as needed. Again, we work with you. You'll work with a specialized team of implementers on this between Acumatica and ADP. Not a problem. They'll know exactly what needs to go where to make sure that the information flows seamlessly for you. Lastly, again, we wanted to show you what that looks like to go ahead and be able to capture that additional data. So now you've hired the employee, you've walked through their life cycle. Now you're wanting to know, okay, where does this all come down to? What does my turnover look like? Or, what does my workforce look like? How am I trending in different areas? Well, that's where Data Cloud comes in. Not only can Data Cloud give you those individual metrics, but it's pre-built with these different dashboards that work as a great Q&A for those new users to be able to see, what is my workforce? What is my turnover retention, DE&I, or even benefit enrollment? Again, hire to retire is covered here. Turnover, you can go in, you can see the information, questions, and get the breakdown that goes along with that. You can also pull in data from other resources through Tableau and Power BI. If you're unsure of what it is that you're looking for or how to pull it, not a problem. Through our ADP Assist, you're able to come in here enter in a question that you might have for the system as to what is my head count? What is my turnover? And you can actually ask the system, and the system will provide you with that data, not only the data, but the chart details that go along with it. So again, very intuitive, very easy to use. The last little tidbit I want to show you that your employees will love, and so will your HR, of course, is our assist for your employees. So back to that mobile one last time. ADP Assist is also available in that mobile device to help out your employees with their questions, especially as they're getting used to the technology. If they need to know, how do I take time off? Or what is my accumulated time off? ADP Assist can help them with answering those questions, giving time back into the day of HR. They'll be able to easily do this and then go about their day. Again, everything in the palm of their hands. So I hope you found that information today very useful, and I'll go ahead and turn it back over to the team.
All right. Thank you, Denise. Appreciate the overview. I think, what I'd like to offer right now is just, some thoughts around the exclusive benefits that you all receive with ADP, because you're a customer of the Answer Company. So let me share my screen here real quick. Okay. So we talked about it, right? So because of the relationship you have with the Answer Company in your ADP experience, you're going to have access to the pre-built Acumatica Workforce Now connector, and it's going to be configured with the workflows that matter to you. Okay. You're also not going to get just any implementation experience, but one with your specific needs in mind, along with your vision for just how you want Workforce Now to interact with Acumatica. You're going to be assigned a project manager for the duration of your implementation, who's not just certified in Workforce Now, but ERP integrations. You'll also receive something we're going to call here the ADP Advantage. This methodology of client onboarding includes unlimited configuration and testing, configuration of up to 7 years of historical data, ADP-led training for practitioners, managers, and employees, and then concludes with a system utilization review post-implementation to make sure everything's set up to your specifications. And then last but certainly not least, you're going to be assigned an ADP Customer Success Manager to address the areas of support that you need when you need it, as often as you need it. And then here's the fun part. So where can we go from here? So if you want to learn more, you'll want to contact your Customer Success Manager over at the Answer Company to see if you qualify. If you do qualify and you are interested, ADP would love to gift you a set of wireless noise-canceling JBL headphones. So fun little gift for your interest in exploring more. So I guess that concludes our content. Wanted to open up and see what questions might exist.
Jeff, just want to express my appreciation to you, Denise and Ashley, for joining. That was a really, great, quick overview. Our intent was to keep this to 20-25 minutes, really just to give everybody a quick opportunity to see what we've been cooking here. And obviously there's going to be lots of opportunity for follow-ups after this. But we're monitoring the chat. If you have any questions for us at this point, we'd be happy to take them. So I don't have a question, but one of the questions that I know I'm being asked a lot by customers who we're talking to this about is, why ADP when Acumatica has its own payroll module? And really, the answer to that question is twofold. First of all, ADP is a full HCM. Acumatica payroll is just payroll. So for those customers who are wanting more than just payroll, obviously it's a great fit. But the other, just payroll on its own, ADP is just frankly a lot more evolved. It's a lot more mature. And so as we get into more complex types of scenarios, it's going to typically be the right choice over the standard payroll module that comes with that out of the box. But really, those digging into those details with you, that's the role that Andy and Philippe will play to help in that evaluation and include ADP then to really help understand the value that ADP can bring over the standard offering that Acumatica offers.
We do have one question, guys. Clinton asked, does the time card feed through into project costing in the construction module?
So I can take that. I mean, so because the time card, as you saw, the time cards in ADP fed through to time cards in Acumatica, those time cards then feed project costing. So yeah, I believe the answer to that would definitely be affirmative. And certainly, people like Janice on our team would be happy to kind of entertain, more detail around that.
We actually have a second question. I'm not sure if everyone's getting it, but the question is Canadian payroll supported? Yes, we do support North America payroll.
Yeah, you guys have been in Canada for most of those 75 years, right? So,
Yeah. Correct.
Yep. There seems to be one more. Will this eliminate the DFRs?
and somebody's going to need to tell me what DFR stands for.
I second that.
I believe it's
Whoever
daily
wrote that
report form.
Okay.
Sorry, Shauna, what did you say?
Daily field.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think that's still Acumatica functionality.
And then looks like I have a private question coming through. I don't know if anybody else is seeing that as well.
Yeah, and I think that's the whole intent of the standard ADP integration is to eliminate that manual process that we're currently doing to pull data from ADP into Acumatica. And because that mapping is configurable, we should be able to then automate it and make it seamless. So we definitely, that'd be good to follow up and just get clarification for you that by adopting that integration, you could really streamline process.
So, and Sherry, to add to that, what I believe you're asking for is the output. So in Workforce Now, our GL workflow, we have an API of journal transactions. And then right now, our Futures is creating a second API with project information. So you can tag back to the projects, right? Right now, we'll solve that with an FTP report. So think about a custom report that you need for the projects that come out of our GL and specifically need to map back to Acumatica. I think that's what you were asking, a little bit more detail there.
That definitely looks like an opportunity to maybe follow up with my team and include the ADP CSM in that conversation to make sure that we can bring together a good solution there.
And then Cindy, can you maybe elaborate on your question? Do the time cards duplicate costing on the project? Is that your question? I don't know if there's a thumbs up that you can give. The time cards, do the time cards duplicate costing?
Time cards are effectively synced, so not duplicated. So it's just that your time card synchronization ensures that it's the same record basically on both sides, right?
Yes, and all information is synced with the, it needs to be in a release status when then exported out to other bits of Acumatica, but it lands in the time and expense within Acumatica and pulls from time and expense.
Great. Well, we're coming up on the 30 minutes here. So I know that both Andy and Philippe will be following up with everybody who's attended this webinar, so you can expect to hear from us. And we certainly look forward to continuing to, we'll look for those opportunities where ADP can really enhance that, that whole HR employee experience for your organizations. Thank you, Jeff, Denise, and Ashley, for joining us today. I certainly appreciate your participation. And with that, we'll sign off. Thank you all.
Likewise. Thank you. Bye, everyone.